I'm sorry. But I, Archangel Michael, have been hiding a secret from you. Today, you are seeing this because God has finally allowed me to reveal it. The person you trust the most did something behind your back. Beloved, please open this, because if you don't, this message will burn and vanish within 10 seconds. Archangel Michael says your name has been glowing like a flame on a stormy night, and I have been standing guard quietly. I kept a truth veiled because the moment was not ripe and your heart needed strength. Now the seal is broken, and what was hidden must finally be brought into the light. The air around you felt heavy these past weeks, and that heaviness was not your imagination. Wise souls feel distortion before facts appear, and you have been feeling a distortion engineered by someone close. The echo you heard in your chest was the sound of your own spirit warning you to look again. A person you trusted rehearsed a story away from your ears, and then performed loyalty in front of your eyes. They smiled with practiced ease, yet behind that smile they arranged small cuts to your future. It was not an accident, and it was not a moment of weakness, it was the sum of many small choices. I pressed my sword into the ground beside them and waited, because mercy gives room for people to turn. But their heart did not turn, and their footsteps traced the same circle again and again. I could not tell you until the hour when you would hear without breaking. You wondered why doors stuck for no reason and why faces changed when you entered a room. You wondered why messages arrived late and opportunities evaporated like mist in the sun. It was not fate closing those doors, it was a hidden hand nudging the hinges. They borrowed your words and repackaged them as their own. They redirected favors that were meant for you, and they did it with a tone that sounded helpful. They claimed they were protecting you from disappointment while protecting their position from your rise. Your kindness made you an easy canvas for their brushstrokes, and they painted a version of you that served their plan. They did not expect the canvas to speak back, but today the canvas speaks. The colors are changing, and the truth is correcting the portrait. I do not reveal this to make you bitter, I reveal this to free your path. There is a difference between anger that poisons and clarity that protects. You are being given clarity that will not poison you, it will purify the air around you. Listen closely to what happened, for I will lay it out like stepping stones across a river. One stone is the conversation you never heard, where your dreams were belittled with a quiet laugh. Another stone is the promise they made in your name, spent like a coin that was never theirs. The third stone is the shift in their eyes when you spoke of your next move. They smiled, but the smile did not reach the pupils, and the pupils told the truth. They took your timing and fed it to rivals, thinking you would arrive late to your own destiny. The fourth stone is the document that moved without your signature. It was a small thing on paper, but a large thing in outcome. A name was placed where yours should have stood, and that name was not yours. The fifth stone is subtle, a story with your details rearranged to make you appear uncertain. It traveled from room to room like a whisper with sturdy legs. When it reached the ears that mattered, it arrived dressed as concern. I kept count, and with every count I weighed their chances to stop. Grace is not blindness, beloved, grace is sight with patience. Patience has now completed its circle, and I am speaking plainly. Do not rush to confrontation yet, rush to alignment. Define your boundaries like clean lines on a map so the river of your life does not flood its banks. In the next hours, you will feel a stillness that will be your sign. This stillness is not inertia, it is the pause before a decisive step. In that pause, practice your sentence of clarity. You will not shout, and you will not plead, you will state and you will choose. You will choose to move your plans to a private room inside your own spirit. You will choose to change the locks on your schedule and the pattern of your days. You will choose to place guardians over your ideas so they are not harvested before the season. I will now hand you a shield that is also a mirror. When you lift it, everything that approaches must face itself first. The shield reflects intention, and intention cannot hide in reflected light. Hold it up when you speak with them, and watch what the mirror shows. Watch for the tightening in the voice and the deflection that returns the topic to you. Watch for the instant where they offer tears without truth, performance without repentance. If they confess, you will weigh confession against pattern. A single tear cannot undo a path of deliberate steps. Restoration is not a performance, it is a practice sustained over days. If they deny, you will not play a game of endless explanations. You will present the facts you possess and the line you will not let them cross again. You will choose consequence without cruelty and distance without drama. There is a table prepared for you that their hands cannot reach. It is set in a room whose door they do not possess the key to. Your seat has your imprint, and your imprint is not transferable. What about your heart, tender and bruised from finding this out? It wants to understand how trust became a blade. I will teach you how to heal without turning stone. First, stop turning the scene over and over until it becomes all you see. Place the scene on the altar of the day and let it stay there while you walk forward. Your mind is not a courtroom that must run until midnight. Second, return to the rhythms that strengthen you, the ordinary rituals of care. Drink water like a vow and sleep like an appointment with your own future. Strength grows in the simple, and the simple is your scaffolding. Third, remember the inventory of your gifts, because they remain intact. Betrayal can cut a rope, but it cannot rewrite the mountain. You are still the climber who knows where the footholds are. Fourth, release the illusion that your worth was ever held in someone else's hands. People can delay a season, but they cannot permanently steal a calling. Your calling has already learned your voice and follows you like a faithful star. Now I will place a sword in your hand, but understand the sword. It is not for revenge, it is for separation between what serves you and what drains you. It is for pruning, not for punishment. With this sword, cut ties with agreements you never made. Cut the pipeline where your ideas were being siphoned away. Cut the narrative that called you too much, when in truth you were being exact. There will be signs that you have cut well, and I will name them so you recognize them. A peace will arrive that does not ask your permission, it simply sits down. Opportunities will return like birds that remember where they learned to sing. Conversations will contain new clarity, and your voice will not tremble. The rooms that once felt hostile will feel neutral, then quietly supportive. Your timing will feel synchronized again, like shoes that finally fit. But I must also warn you of the counterplay, because light attracts movement. They may attempt a grand gesture to reclaim access. They may send a messenger who speaks in half-truths and nostalgia. Stay steady when nostalgia knocks, because memory is a persuasive storyteller. Honor the good moments without reopening the door to what harmed you. You are not required to purchase your peace back from the past. This is not a call to isolation, it is a call to selection. You will build a circle that knows the difference between curiosity and entitlement. You will keep counsel with people whose joy is not threatened by your growth. Let me speak of timing, because timing is the architecture of destiny. For a while your timing felt like a corridor of doors closing in sequence. Now you will experience the opposite, a corridor of doors opening at your measured pace. Do not sprint through the openings, walk with dignity. Receive what is yours without apology, and place it where it can mature. Speed is not the same as progress, and today you choose progress. Some nights will still sting, and the mind will replay the moment of realization. On those nights, breathe like a bell and count your breaths until your chest loosens. Place one hand on your heart and one on your future, and feel them speak to each other. I have also guarded something that belongs to you, a message you wrote to yourself before you were born. It says you would endure a season of refining so your compassion could carry authority. Compassion without authority bends until it breaks, yours will stand and heal. You are not defined by what they did, you are defined by what you decide now. Decide to be whole rather than vindicated. Vindication is a moment, wholeness is a life. There is a ledger in the unseen where fairness is not delayed. You do not need to manage that ledger, it is not your job. Your job is to become the person who can hold the next chapter without spilling it. I will now outline your next steps as if drawing a map on clean parchment. Step 1. Secure your plans and move 3 tasks that matter into a private list today. Step 2. Send one message that clarifies a boundary and expects no debate. Step 3. Invest 1 hour in the craft that makes your soul feel at home. Step 4. Revisit a delayed opportunity and knock with a new confidence. Step 5. Subtract one influence that always leaves you smaller. With each step, you will feel the soft weight of relief. Relief is not laziness, it is a sign that friction is decreasing where it was never meant to be. Your inner room will become bright again, and your creativity will return like rain. You may ask silently how long it will take to feel normal again. Normal is not your goal, alignment is. When you are aligned, even the unfamiliar feels natural. I will walk you through the corridor of reconciliation with yourself. Forgive your younger self for not seeing what was hidden so carefully. Bless your current self for acting with courage now that the veil is lifted. When you meet them in the days ahead, your voice will hold a new cadence. It will not tremble, and it will not accuse, it will simply reveal. Light does not argue with darkness, it shines until shadows have nowhere to live. If they seek restoration, you will set terms that respect your dignity. Restoration requires 3 pillars: admission, accountability, and amended behavior. Without all 3, restoration is only a rehearsed apology in costume. If they choose distance, let distance be the teacher they refuse to hear in your words. You do not chase those who run from truth. You bless them with silence and turn toward the work that is calling you. Now look at your hands as if seeing them for the first time. These are the hands that will build what they thought you would abandon. These are the hands that will sign the papers they once tried to move past you. Your creativity is not a trend, it is a covenant between you and the one who formed you. Covenants endure storms and do not tear at the seam. You will produce work that carries your fingerprints with unmistakable clarity. A day is coming soon when you will recognize why this unveiling had to happen. You will stand inside a room you dreamed of and realize you arrived with your integrity intact. Integrity is a passport that does not expire, and you will travel far with it. I will keep a ring of fire around your plans while they stabilize. No stray word will wander in to unsettle what is being set. You will be surprised at how quickly the foundation hardens under your feet. You will also meet 2 new allies who speak the language of honor. They will not be loud or flashy, they will be consistent. Consistency is the most fluent dialect of loyalty. Prepare a quiet celebration that is private and sincere. Mark the day not for what they did, but for what you reclaimed. Write 1 sentence about who you are becoming, and place it where you can see it at dawn. Each morning, step into that sentence as if it were a doorway. Do your work with a calm face and a steady heart. Let the results speak while you remain rooted. When memories sting, let them pass through you like wind through a field. Do not build a house for them, do not plant a flag there. You have better land to cultivate, and it bears your name. I will finish this revelation with a promise and a charge. The promise is that your path is protected as you align with truth. The charge is that you must continue to choose clarity over comfort. Clarity will make certain rooms feel colder at first, but then the new warmth arrives. That warmth is the atmosphere of a life without hidden drafts. You will sleep deeply again, because the house of your soul is no longer leaking. Stand now, beloved, inside your rightful stature. This is not pride, this is the posture of someone who knows they were not a mistake. Walk forward with grace edged in steel. If you feel a tremor of fear, recognize it as the last echo of an old bond dissolving. Breathe once for the past, once for the present, and once for the future. Then keep walking, because your story has many pages left. I close the veil that once hid this truth, but I do not close your heart. Your heart will remain open, guarded by wisdom rather than guarded by walls. And I will remain by your side, not as a secret, but as a bright companion. The hour is fulfilled, the blessing is active, the map is yours. No more dim rooms and no more shifting floors. Step into your day as the rightful steward of your name. When you look back on this moment, you will call it the turning. The turning is when the road straightened and the horizon cleared. From here, your life will carry the fragrance of clean rain after a long drought. Go now with your peace intact and your sight sharpened. Do the next small faithful thing, and watch the larger doors answer. I will meet you at the threshold with a smile that reaches my eyes. Archangel Michael says the page has not finished turning, and I am still here with ink that does not run. The thread of your life is strong enough to carry more truth without tearing. Let us continue, because the river ahead is wider and the boat is ready. The secret revealed did not arrive to humiliate you, it arrived to graduate you. Graduation is not a party, it is a passage that reorganizes your inner house. You are stepping from a room of dim lamps into a hall of steady light. Your spirit already knew the outline of this day long before your mind caught up. That is why you felt out of rhythm with old patterns that once seemed safe. You were hearing the new drum that calls you to move with a wiser cadence. Now you will build a sanctuary around your focus, because focus is your gold. You will design mornings that protect your first hour like a holy gate. You will design evenings that fold you into silence and return you to center. I will hand you a sevenfold plan, not as weight but as wings for your schedule. Fold 1. Reclaim the first 15 minutes after waking and speak only truth to yourself. Fold 2. Decide the one task that brings the future closer and honor it like an oath. Fold 3. Subtract one distraction for every new responsibility you accept. Fold 4. Set the boundary of your calendar as if it were shoreline holding back a storm. Fold 5. Keep a private log of lessons so memory does not wash them away. Fold 6. Practice gracious exits from conversations that circle the drain. Fold 7. Celebrate completions, not just beginnings, so your spirit feels the finish line. These folds will transform your hours into instruments that play in tune. There will be a temptation to explain yourself to those who preferred you naive. Resist the performance of justification, your growth is not a courtroom theater. Let your results deliver the only speech that cannot be argued. A new steadiness will appear in your face, and people will sense it without knowing why. They will find themselves speaking to you with fewer games and more straight lines. Steadiness is a teacher that never raises its voice, and yet it is always heard. I will now place markers in your week so you recognize the choreography of protection. On a coming morning, an unexpected delay will save you from a meeting you do not need. Call it interruption if you like, but you will learn to call it escort. On an afternoon soon, a name will surface in conversation twice in 1 hour. You will feel a cool breeze inside your chest when you hear it the second time. That is my hand tapping your shoulder to pay attention to a clean alliance. On an evening not far away, you will feel unusually tired and choose to go home early. Your choice will reroute a collision that was waiting in a crowded room. Protection will look ordinary, and that is how you will know it is real. Do not mistake calm for emptiness. Calm is the architecture of powerful movement. Your days will not be loud, but the ground will shift under your feet in your favor. The shift will be irreversible, because it is anchored in truth rather than in theater. You will begin to feel the difference between urgency and importance. Urgency shouts and burns, importance speaks and builds. Choose the voice that builds, even when the shouting tries to seduce you. Let us speak of provision, because betrayals often attempt to scare the heart about supply. Your supply does not live in their pockets or in their permission. Your supply springs from alignment, and alignment opens doors no rumor can shut. You will see a quiet increase that looks like competence being recognized. It will not explode, it will accumulate like dew that becomes a river. Small confirmations will stack until they look like a mountain in daylight. I will whisper strategies to you in simple phrases that land with weight. When you hear simplify, cut the excess steps that hide in your routines. When you hear stabilize, strengthen the foundation before you decorate the walls. When you hear sequence, put tasks in the order that respects your energy. When you hear shield, pause conversations until you feel clarity return. When you hear seed, make a small brave investment in the work that will feed others. There will be days when memory tugs on your sleeve with a collage of old laughter. Honor the memory with a nod, and then walk on. You owe the past gratitude, not residency. I will teach you a 3-line boundary so your tongue does not stumble when tested. Line 1, that does not work for me anymore. Line 2, here is what I will do instead. Line 3, if that cannot be respected, I will step away now. Practice these lines until they feel like natural breath. They are short on purpose so courage can finish them. Your home will feel different when you start to speak like this. The air will lose its stale heaviness, and objects will feel placed rather than abandoned. Rooms hold memory, and yours will learn the new song of your authority. We will clean the inner room together with 4 small brooms of habit. Broom 1. Clear your desk at day's end so tomorrow greets you with space. Broom 2. Prepare your clothes the night before as a promise to your morning self. Broom 3. Choose your food like fuel for a journey you plan to finish. Broom 4. Turn off your glowing screens early enough to hear your own thoughts. These brooms sweep away the dust that anxiety loves to write its name in. You will notice that your laughter returns, lower and truer than before. It will carry relief inside it, like a key rattling in a lock that has finally opened. Let yourself enjoy it without suspicion. Joy is not bait, it is nutrition. Now we will visit the workshop of your craft where your hands feel most alive. You will touch your tools as if greeting old friends who never betrayed you. Work with them until your breath becomes a metronome of calm devotion. Create as if the room were filled with people you will help but never meet. Create as if your future self is standing in the doorway, proud and grateful. Create as if honesty were oxygen and every stroke refilled your lungs. There are 2 allies approaching whose presence will answer old prayers you barely remember. One will speak quietly but act quickly, proving loyalty with completed tasks. The other will challenge you to level up and remember your original excellence. The quiet ally will open a corridor into networks that match your integrity. The challenging ally will look you in the eye and say, "Stop shrinking where you shine." Receive both with discernment and with a timeline that respects your pace. Discernment is not suspicion, it is accurate seeing. Accurate seeing does not need to be mean or cynical. It simply names things correctly and then moves accordingly. I will coach your discernment with a simple test of atmosphere. After you leave someone's presence, ask your body how it feels. If you feel smaller and foggy, reduce exposure. If you feel grounded and clearer, lean in. Your body is an honest instrument, and we will tune it with rest and movement. You will carry yourself as if your bones remember they were carved for purpose. The mirror will witness your posture changing before your circumstances do. Let us also repair the bridge between your trust and your wisdom. Trust without wisdom gets robbed, wisdom without trust gets lonely. Together they become a gate that welcomes honor and denies manipulation. There may be a moment when the one who harmed you attempts to apologize with spectacle. Do not confuse spectacle with sincerity. Sincerity is a quiet room with clear words, changed behavior, and no audience. If they ask for a second chance, know that a second chance is not a rewind. It is permission to attempt a new pattern under observation. You are not cruel for requiring evidence. You are responsible for your peace. Your legacy is waking up while you make these decisions.